Here's all you need to apply for the zero fee teaching IQA. Kiara Fano is your girl, the Sassy engineer. As you all know, teaching is very important to New Zealand, and New Zealand is looking for a lot of teachers. But in order to qualify to teach in New Zealand, you need to be registered. And to be registered in New Zealand, you need to have your qualification assessed if you're not on the pre-approved overseas qualification list. And we know that this teaching IQA costs money. You and I know that teaching IQA is not free. It costs $746. That's a lot of money, especially when you consider other things that you're going to be paying for in the process of registering and getting your provisional practicing certificates. So this is where the zero fee teaching IQA comes in. The zero fee teaching IQA will ensure that you get your qualification assessed by NZQA for free. Yeah, for free. However, there are only 200 people that qualify per month. This is where the zero fee teaching IQA comes in. What the zero fee teaching IQA does is that it allows teachers who have met the eligibility criteria to have their overseas qualification evaluated by the NZQA without paying the teaching IQA fees. The teaching IQA fee is $746. So that is a good deal. 200 applications are processed under the zero fee teaching IQ initiative per month. These eligibility criteria are changing and only secondary school teachers are now eligible. But still there are two criteria that you will need to meet. They said that if you do not meet the criteria, you can still apply for the teaching IQA, but you have to pay the fees. However, these fees can be reimbursed through the overseas relocation grant that I talked about in the other video. If you qualify for this zero fee teaching IQA, you would have your first initial teaching IQA for free, and you will now have 2 extra free standard IQA. So that means that you can submit up to 3 qualifications for evaluation without paying the fees. That's fantastic news, especially for secondary school teachers who are looking to move to New Zealand to teach. And there are terms and conditions, as with everything that has to do with free stuff. There are terms and conditions. One is that you must show evidence that you meet the zero fee eligibility criteria. Number 2 is that if your qualification have already been assessed, evaluated by NZQA, then you do not qualify for the zero fee eligibility criteria. When you submit your application for the zero fee teaching IQA, you have to agree that your details will be shared to other funding bodies for data collection and marketing purposes. You have to agree to that. The zero fee teaching IQA are still subject to terms and conditions of the NZQA. So these are the terms of use of the zero fee teaching IQA. Now, if you are not satisfied with any of those terms, you know what that means. Once again, zero fee teaching IQA is for secondary school teachers only, and they only accept applications submitted through their portal. So don't send the application by email, okay? Submit it through their portal. How do you submit it through their portal? How do you know that you're eligible? Let us look at the eligibility criteria, and then we'll look at step-by-step process to submit this application. On the website here, it says you have to meet either of the 2 eligibility criteria. Criteria 1 is that you have completed your main teaching qualification in New Zealand and gained additional qualification overseas that require evaluation for 8-pay salary assessment. When you apply, you need to provide a letter from 8-pay requesting an evaluation of your additional qualification for salary assessment. And you can click this link to find out more. The second criteria is that you have completed your teaching qualification overseas and require evaluation for New Zealand teaching registration and employment purposes. So this is for overseas trained teachers. You must provide evidence that you hold an acceptable qualification relevant to the sector in which you intend to teach, and evidence of current overseas teacher registration or current employment as a teacher in a school or early childhood education setting. So let's go and see below to see the acceptable qualification. Acceptable qualification says here, for secondary school teachers, the teaching qualification and study pathway must include a minimum of 4 years of full-time post-secondary study in a higher education institution. So you can just read this link to find out what acceptable qualification is. I'm going to put the link in the description box. So for you ask the question, this video is specifically for you and for anyone who also has that question. If you still don't feel satisfied, go on to the NZQA website, the New Zealand Qualification Authority website, and read everything about it. Read everything about the zero fee IQA and make your decision from there. How to apply for this zero fee teaching IQA? You first of all need to create an account through their online web portal, which is called the Qualification Recognition Services Online Application Portal. Then you need to provide information and documents associated to the teaching qualifications that you want evaluated. You also need to provide information and evidence that you are eligible to apply. Go back and see what I talked about eligibility. You need to provide instructions on how NZQA can directly access your qualification documents from an acceptable verification organization or your education provider. Then you need to submit one IQA application for each qualification. You can submit up to 3 qualifications. They've also gone further to break these steps into 13 easy to follow steps. So let's explore all of them. Step number 1, gather your documents and evidence. This applies to everything that you need to apply for. Gather documents and evidence. Okay? They say that you can submit extra qualifications too. For instance, if you hold a postgraduate teaching degree, you can submit your bachelor's degree as an extra qualification. If you have completed any higher qualifications after your teaching qualification, submit this for evaluation as it may support your future teacher salary assessment. Documents that you need to submit, to gather. You need a passport biodata page. You need evidence of name change. That is, if your name listed on your passport is different to the name on your award certificate. You need your award certificate for each qualification. You need transcripts, academic records, or mark sheets for each qualification. You need underpinning qualifications, that if it's applicable, syllabus if applicable, English translations if applicable. Documents that you need to show for zero fee application. So you need your current teacher registration or equivalent certification in New Zealand or overseas. You need a current proof of employment in a teaching position overseas. That is, if your teacher registration is not available. You need current employment or job offer in a New Zealand school or early learning service. There will be verification checks. All zero fee IQA applications will be subject to additional verification checks. So check out the website for that. There are also extra things like you must arrange your qualification documents to be verified. You can use acceptable verification organizations. You are responsible for any costs associated with verification or request for additional documents. After that, once you gather your documents and you are ready to apply, you need to log in. So you go to their online portal. Like I said, it's called Qualifications Recognition Services Online Application Portal, QRS Online Application Portal. The link is on their website. If you see this error message, it means you already have an account with them. So all you just need to do is go back and click forgot password and then reset your password. The third step is to start a new application, which is very simple. You go to my application page, click start a new application, and it will open available services page, and you select the teaching IQA and click apply to start your application. Instructions will follow. Number 4, enter your teaching qualification details, beginning with your main teaching qualification. This is a qualification that prepared you to teach at a school or early learning center in the country where you studied. Then enter all the required details. The feed state will be select the special feed type. That's if there are slots available. If you meet the requirements, they said please select zero fee teaching IQA 2.0 and click next. If you do not meet the requirements or do not want to have your qualification evaluated under this initiative, click next without selecting special fee type. 6th step is asking you to refer to the zero fee eligibility criteria. That's if you're applying for zero fee. Read the eligibility criteria, terms and conditions. I've already talked about this. After that, you enter the purpose of your teaching IQA. Then click next. That will now ask you to upload your documents. Everything you need to know is in the link that I'm going to put in the description box. After you've applied, you would receive an email confirming that you have received your IQA application. Once you submit your application, then they will check that you have submitted all the required information and documents. They will send you an email confirming your application has been accepted or declined. If your application is accepted, they'll start your teaching IQA evaluation. Now you have the option to pay for the application if it is declined as a zero fee IQA. They'll start the evaluation if your application is accepted. Once everything is completed, they'll email you the evaluation, and you can check the status as well by logging into the online application portal or by contacting the help email that they've sent. The tips they have is that before you apply, you should make sure that you have acceptable form of verification of your qualification. So the acceptable form, they are required documents, and there are documents that may be required. Required documents are award certificate, evidence of name change, passport biodata page, transcript, academic records, etc. And this is documents that may be required. Make sure that these documents are in the right format. They are saved separately with clear file names. The scanned files are in color. They don't accept black and white. So make sure that your files are scanned in color. And remember, the zero fee teaching IQA is for secondary school teachers only, at least for now. Maybe sometime later they'll open it up for others, but for now, secondary school teachers only, which is good because secondary school teachers have just been moved to tier 1 of the green list, and they're eligible for the straight to residence visa. In order for them to apply for that visa, they will need to have teaching IQA done for most overseas trained teachers. So it's good that we have this zero fee teaching IQA to give some people, take away some of the financial burden from doing this, because the whole thing is just, some of these things are financially stressful. So that is all about zero fee teaching IQA. I hope you found this very helpful. If things are still not clear, I strongly recommend that you go on to NZQA website, the New Zealand Qualification Authority website, and find out more details on this thing. The link will be in the description box to make it easier for you. So click that link to learn more. Feel free to ask questions if you have your questions, and I can help you or someone in the community can help you. But I strongly suggest that you check the description box to have all the details. Thank you for staying to the end. Don't forget to click the like button to like this video, and make sure you watch other videos. I strongly suggest you check out the Coming to New Zealand playlist, as it has everything you need to know about coming to New Zealand on whatever pathway you choose. Okay, if you haven't yet joined the community, click the subscribe button to join the community. It's your girl, the Sassy Engineer, and I'll see you next time. Toodles.